This is Virgil Ortiz, and you're watching REED-BBS.
REED-BBS, BBS. 2024 Disappointment of the Year. Disappointment of the Year. I was prepared to give this award to SAUL CANELO ALVAREZ for his repeated ducking spanning several years now of El Monstruo David Benavidez. But then a new candidate, a fresh candidate swooped in late 2024, thrusting the Disappointment of the Year award upon himself, shining that light away from Canelo Alvarez upon himself. And it's one of my absolute favorite current fighters, JARON, Boots ENNIS, 33-0, 29 KOs, 2024's Disappointment of the Year. Facts over feelings, right? Facts over feelings? Okay. Like I said, when it happened, Boots got his card pulled. What were the first words out of Boots' mouth in the ring, post-fight interview with Chris Mannix, right after he got the decision for the second time over Karen? What were his words? Boots spoke of it maybe being time to do what? To move on up, like George and Wheezy, to move on up to 54. Did he not say that? Were those not the first words out of Boots' mouth in the ring, post-fight interview with Chris Mannix after his second decision over Karen? Of course it was. So a lucrative fight was then offered at that weight that you said it might be time to move up to, on a high-profile undercard, no less. And Boots said he didn't want it. Said he didn't want it. So right then, right there, JARON Boots ENNIS got his card pulled. Period. Call it a duck, whatever. Now, there's two things about ducking. Number one, nobody is scared. Let me be clear. Nobody is scared. These are men who fight for a living. No fighter is losing sleep over another fighter. But this is professional. This is professional ducking. No, you ain't scared, but you do realize a motherfucker's potentially bad for your brand of boxing business. That's what it is. That's number one. Number two, ducking a motherfucker now doesn't mean you're going to keep ducking that motherfucker forever. Doesn't mean that. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, he ducked Tommy Hearns for like a year and a half, 2 years. And eventually fought him, but he did duck him. Canelo Alvarez, he ducked Triple G for like a year. He was fighting Chavez. Who was he fighting? He was fighting Amir Khan and all kinds of people when he should have been fighting Triple G. So he ducked him then, eventually fought him. So just because Boots, yes, he ducked Virgil Ortiz. He did. It doesn't mean that he will always duck him. Ducking now doesn't equate to ducking forever. The YSM interview. YSM, that's like the Boots channel, Boots Central, basically. But I credit YSM, that channel, for asking tough questions. Most sites, when they're as closely affiliated with a particular fighter, they would have thrown softball questions at Boots. YSM didn't. And all the other Philly dudes, your Greg Hackett's, your GHBs, Redman, who I respect the shit out of, respect GHB also. I respect all them brothers. But their energy is different. The energy with all them Philly dudes and Philly channels, Gilly the Kid, Wallow. This last fight with Karen got y'all's energy a little different in regards to Boots. Why? Because it was a disappointment. The Philly crowd was quiet as fuck during the whole Karen fight. They didn't know how to react. That's disappointment. But getting back to that interview, among other things, Boots, he said a lot, really didn't say anything. He said, it's hard to get up for guys you already beat. I was not being myself, not being sharp, not having as much fun. There was a lot of things going on. He was holding. There was frustration. I didn't like my performance at all. I was trying to get him out of there for the fans and get him out of there because I didn't stop him in the first fight. I rushed it. wasn't being sharp, wasn't taking my time, I was being lazy. He then said that there's been false information, Boots did, false information and fake news about the Virgil Ortiz fight. His reasoning is that the whole email champ thing, that's why he would rather stay at 47 than move up to 54 right now. The whole email champ thing, the fact that he's never been able to fight and beat a world champion for a title. He's never taken a title from a champion as of yet. He said that took away the feeling that he's always dreamed of as a child, as a kid, is taking someone's belt from them. And that's why he's been kind of indecisive on what he should do. But YSM, again, they said to him, the whole world is calling you a duck. To which Boots credited miscommunication. He said, I got a great team, but I felt like I was out of the loop. From this point forward, I'll be more in tune and vocal with what's going on. If y'all don't hear it from me, hear those words out of my mouth, it didn't come from me. He then said he had no idea about the negotiations. The YSM interviewer even said he found that kind of hard to believe. And Boots said, look, talks is talks, negotiations is negotiations. He said he never got a bout agreement. A bout agreement was never sent nor seen for Virgil Ortiz February 22nd. 2025, the target is unification. Boots said he can get that feeling of taking a belt from somebody because, again, he has yet to feel that feeling, and he needs that for his career and his legacy and the stamp for himself. Now, if you notice, sometimes what's not said and who's not talking speaks louder than anything else. And with that, I'm talking about Bozy Ennis, who's been mum on his son Boots ever since the declaration that Boots made. If you ain't heard it from me, don't believe it, that type of thing. Hadn't been a peep from Boozy, Boots related anyway. Not since then, not from his own father. That could have led to some strained feelings on the team, but Boots has to be the priority. And most fighters reach a point where they want all roads, all thoughts, all talk about their careers coming through them. That's just natural. Or until they state otherwise anyway. And that's where Boots is. He's flexing more independence than ever. We'll see what it means, if it even means anything, beyond Boots choosing to be the main voice in his own affairs moving forward. We'll see. But it's like this. If you're a fan of Jaron Boots Ennis, like I am, you're disappointed. You're disappointed. You can't go from Mr. Ketchup Body, Mr. I'm desiring any and all smoke. I'm entertaining all smoke. I'm climbing up the chimney looking for smoke. And then all of a sudden smoke is offered to your ass, and then your energy's different. See, we can't have that. We can't have that. Now, again, just because you ducked in don't mean you're going to always duck. So Ryan Garcia feeling brave, he talking shit. Teofimo effing Lopez and Bob Arum was talking shit. Now they talking about Subriel Matias. Brian Norman's still there. Stanionis now is mentioning Boots by name. Not sure why this couldn't have happened when they were both with BBC. But Stanionis is mentioning Boots by name now. Connor Ben, Blair the Flair Cobb, they're mentioning Boots by name. Mario Barrios coming off a draw now. I'm sure he's more likely to fight. Everybody's more likely to fight Boots now, post Karen too. But with all that, this doesn't have to define Jaron Boots Ennis, and I'm predicting that it won't. But that doesn't take away the level of disappointment we rightfully felt in 2024. 2024's disappointment of the year, Jaron Boots Ennis. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television, Fred Sanford of the District Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say